Welcome to Time Vault Games. I'm ELD, here to ask you for help in growing the channel. When we reach 2,500 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a custom leather playmat to one lucky subscriber. So be sure to like and subscribe. Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Mass. Here we have a battle of control decks as Lucas is playing a Delver Blade strategy versus Pyle Souza on a Grixis control. Brainstorm now looking to flip this Delver. One of the main issues I've noticed with this blue-white Delver Blade list is just a slightly lower count of instants and sorceries, making it harder to flip those Delvers. Really puts a premium on Brainstorm and Ponder, and making sure that those Delvers become a legitimate threat every turn that it attacks as a 1/1 is a real significant drawback. And we've got a Lightning Bolt clearing out this Delver, brainstorming in response. And that will be resolving. Grixis has all the answers. Back to Basics, however, is a very dangerous card for it to be playing against. Force back. And there are a lot of non-basic lands in Grixis. You've got blue, red, black, all of the some of the most powerful cards ever in Magic. But this deck does not really have much in the way of basic lands. So Back to Basics, a very real threat. Brainstorming off of this island. I believe he's going to have a basic island and a basic swamp. I don't know if he'll even have the basic mountain. We may see here off this Scalding Tarn. Oh, and this is going to be more of a game than I thought. It looks like this mana base has more basics. Note that this is not an Arkham's Astrolabe build. Baleful Strix being deployed off of Polluted Delta. And so far, Back to Basics just denying this Badlands. A Baleful Strix is going to be a bit of a problem in the short term. Fatal Push, taking out this Stoneforge Mystic. Now a Delver of Secrets. So Batterskull a long ways off of landing at this point. And these Baleful Strix is going to go to work. Swords to Plowshares actually clears one of them. That may prove to be a misstep. As 3 life evaporates from Kyle's life total. Delver of Secrets flipped. Got in one shot, and now this Baleful Strix likely will stay home. Unless there's... Oh, he's actually got another Baleful Strix in hand that can potentially hold down the fort. True Name Nemesis committed to the board. Swords takes out that Baleful Strix. And now it's 3 damage a turn on both sides of the board. We've got a True Name Nemesis and a True Name Nemesis for Lucas. Baleful Strix comes in. Ponder. And at this point, it is likely time to find a Plague Engineer. That is going to be a crucially important card. True Name might as well turn sideways. Another Swords to Plowshares. And these Baleful Strixes gaining a little bit of life for Kyle. 3 in total. And that is... game number 1. I'm actually not sure if that was lethal for... I'm going to assume that Lucas actually represented lethal there. So I am assuming that Lucas got that game number 1 without being able to see the life total. Delver was turning sideways. Perhaps that True Name just created the inevitability, and Kyle was moving on to the next game. We'll see. I don't know if it was actually dealing lethal or just managing the clock. Fatal Push taking out this Delver. And Kyle, all about the basic lands here, starting out. Brainstorm for Lucas. Both players very experienced. Tons of wins under their belts. And neither one of them going to want a draw here. This is the final round of a Wednesday night Legacy. So definitely going to want a win here. A draw not going to help out as far as prize support goes. Snapcaster, Ponder. And Kyle not excited about that Force of Will. This is a very grindy matchup. Perhaps not liking the chance of this Snapcaster going the distance. Though, I mean, we'll see how many Swords to Plowshares Lucas leaves in. They are important to clear Baleful Strixes out of the way, but they feel awful when that's actually your plan. I mean, they're getting a card off of the Baleful Strix, trading 2 for 1. Eventually leaves you with just no recourse. A Umezawa's Jite with no body threatens to eventually clear this Snapcaster Mage, but Kyle's task at hand is to either deal with this equipment or prevent a creature from ever showing up that can handle it. I think he may opt to just try and keep the board clear. Ponder. Angarth's Rampage. Very tempting to just hit the creatures. Stoneforge Mystic. And that gets lightning bolted, leaving a Batterskull in hand. Jace the Mind Sculptor. And he'll Brainstorm this turn. Perhaps going to try and ride the Snapcaster all the way to victory. A True Name Nemesis. And that's going to get a Pyroblast thrown at it. Which does resolve. Force of Will less likely to be in your opponent's hand in these matchups as well. And it looks like Kyle's actually drawn into a copy of Force, meaning that he is in very good position. It's going to be hard to lose a counter war when you have that trump card. It's really, really solid in this type of matchup when you're ahead, which is one of the reasons that people don't love it. It actually can be a little bit of a win more card. Where, you know, it's only going to be good when you're potentially going to be winning anyways, though I think some copies of the card can kind of solidify your lead once you actually get there. And cards like Baleful Strix do a good job of getting you ahead, incrementally moving forward. If you get a couple of Baleful Strix down, they are a legitimate clock, 2 or 3 damage a turn, just drawing cards along the way. And of course, they pivot so beautifully into defensive mode, holding back with Death Touch to trade with almost anything in Lucas's build. Of course, True Name Nemesis, a card to keep an eye on in this match. Both players having access to it. Lucas likely going to need a card like Council's Judgment to get rid of it, whereas Kyle's going to have Plague Engineer. What an incredible printing that card is. A lot of people are pretty down on 2019 in terms of the printings for Magic. I actually like a lot of them. Angarth's Rampage, Liliana's Triumph. Many cards from Eldraine. This Delver of Secrets. Now facing off against a Baleful Strix if this resolves. And really what you want is that Baleful Strix to not resolve. If you can go ahead and Spell Snare that, or, you know, Red Elemental Blast it, anything that stops them from getting that all-important card from the ETB trigger. Another Baleful Strix. And we'll see if he takes the same tactic of turning sideways. He does not this time. This is a little bit more how I would play it. A third Baleful Strix, and now it is a much more of a consideration as to whether or not to start turning these Strixes sideways. A blue blast stops a lightning bolt. A fatal push clears him out of the way, and now it's a build your own Delver party as 3 damage comes across the bow to lower Lucas's life total. Stoneforge Mystic. Umezawa's Jite could mop up pretty handily, though Batterskull's the typical first card. A Tyrant Scorn. And shows us why Batterskull is the #1 go-to so often. It's a body along with the equipment. A Council's Judgment. That does not feel very good there. Brainstorm for Kyle. Just life total getting too low, trying to find a way. Oh, and not casting the Jite. I'm a little bit surprised on that. It's possible that these lands would put him in lethal range. We'll see if he'll be scooping here. Fetch lands actually end up mattering a little bit when you're dealing with extremely low life. The way Lucas is playing, it seems like he's at like 2. Wish I was keeping track here. I'll try and do that in future games if we actually don't have the life totals on cameras. You see our life pad moved slightly off by accident, so sending with Baleful Strix. Will this be the final point of damage? Wasteland hits a Volcanic. Umezawa's Jite. No, it's not the final point. So I'm actually very surprised that this Batterskull just hasn't been cast. Unless it has and I missed it. That is occasionally possible. Celestial Purge. And Lucas has actually cleared Team Owl. We had 3 Baleful Strixes on board at one point. Now it's a Snapcaster. Lucas fetching 4 lands. And Hardcast Force. For a Pyroblast. His life total's got to be super low here. Batterskull coming down, picking up the Jite. Angar's Rampage clearing the way, and then Snapcaster doing the final point of damage necessary for Grixis to outlast this Delver Blade build. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.